The Israeli regime has for nearly 7 decades denied Palestinians their fundamental rights and has spared no effort to change the demographic makeup of occupied Palestinian territories. In flagrant defiance of international regulations, Israel has pressed ahead with its construction of settler units, destroyed historical sites, and expelled the local Palestinian population. With the intensification of Israel's atrocities, a global pro-Palestinian campaign, which was formed in 2005, has gained widespread popularity. The Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions movement, also known as the BDS, calls for increasing economic and political pressure on Israel until the regime ends its occupation and violations of international law.
So the ability to raise control to a higher level is difficult and problematic. What we really need is individuals educating themselves and individually acting wherever possible, and that the BDS movement has done a very good job of that. They've posted brands. They've had people go into grocery stores and say, "Get this product off your shelves. We won't buy it anymore." Those are individuals making decisions. But when you go to the higher levels, you have deep problems. I mean, I don't want the United Nations, for example, involved. I don't want my federal government involved. My federal government is dominated by neoconservatives or neo-Trotskyites and Zionists.
Now, in a victory for pro-Palestinian activists in the U.S., New Orleans, in the state of Louisiana, has become the first city in the country's south to adopt a pro-BDS solution. The resolution, supported by all present members of the city council, calls for the creation of a process to avoid investments and contracts with companies whose practices violate human rights. A member of the New Orleans Palestinian Solidarity Committee cited U.S. machinery manufacturer Caterpillar as an example of the companies whose products are used in Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. In September 2017, the UN Human Rights Commissioner sent letters to 150 companies worldwide warning them of consequences of doing business in the occupied territories. Of the 150 companies, some 30 were American, including Caterpillar.
Probably is. City councils love to pass resolutions on national and international topics, believe it or not. And so this would be no different than all the other topics that they love. And there are a very large number of city councils, and that means there are large numbers with the potential to be copying this, making this kind of resolution.
Meanwhile, U.S. Congress, highly influenced by powerful Israeli lobbies, has been attempting to pile the pressure on supporters of the BDS movement. Last year, some Democratic and Republican senators introduced a bill that would prohibit boycotting Israel. The measure lost support after it faced opposition from free speech advocates, including the American Civil Liberties Union. Also in 2017, Dickinson City in the state of Texas was among the areas hardest hit by Hurricane Harvey. Surprisingly, individuals and businesses who were seeking financial aid from the city council were required to sign a pledge not to boycott Israel.
The idea of boycotting has become so popular. I mean, for example, in this country, the issue of Israel aside, I, as a professor in California, cannot go to a conference, for example, in Texas and have my university pay for it because the state government passed a law saying they didn't like the laws of the state of Texas.
The U.S. has on numerous occasions blocked efforts at the UN to hold Israel accountable for its crimes against Palestinians. And Donald Trump's ascension to the Oval Office has further emboldened the regime, which is serving the West's interests in the Middle East.